May I come in?
Come in, please. Please come.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
I think since we have adequately distanced from each other, you could perhaps take off your mask if you feel more convenient that way.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Meena, Miss Sulochana Meena,
Yes.
we'd like to start off by you introducing yourself to us and telling us what is it that motivates you to come to aspire for the to the service as a whole. And while giving some kind of an idea to us, I'd like to also know how from Rajasthan, Savai Madhopur, you come to river rafting and where do you do your river rafting? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, as you know, my name is Sulochana Meena. I have done my schooling from Rajasthan itself, and then I moved to Delhi to pursue my graduation from Miranda House, Delhi University. And this is, since then I have been preparing for UPSC, and this is my first attempt. And my motivation for the civil services is because at such a young age, I cannot get such a large platform where I can impact such a huge proportion of the people. And second thing is the personal and professional satisfaction. And sir, answering to the question of the river rafting, when I moved Delhi, then I developed this hobby. Before that, I did not do river rafting.
Where do you do the river rafting?
Sir, Rishikesh. Cordial.
Okay. Tell me, who were your mentors or role models who have impressed you, whether it's historically or whether it's in your personal life?
Sir, I would say that role models, they have changed from my childhood to till now.
Okay.
In childhood, my father used to be my role model. I wanted to become like him.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, when I came to school, then my teachers, they became role model for me. And after coming to college, then when I got exposure to learn about many people. So right now, I would say that in civil services, IAS ma'am, Smita Sabharwal ma'am, she is one of my role model, and also Kiran Bedi ma'am, she is
historically, if you were to place which is the most impressive female figure in history that you think has made an impact on the world?
Sir, I would say Rani Lakshmibai.
Rani Lakshmibai. From what point of view? Is it because she was like a male, or was it because she was, what else did you do?
Sir, first thing that even if she fought against Britishers that time, I don't think that she was like a male.
Okay.
She was being a female,
yes.
And she was an exceptional character that time when for countries she fought, and also she made herself an example for other women to learn fighting, and not to such as in Rajasthan these things were going on, such as Johar. So at least they did not promote these things, and they promoted that even after your husband is gone, you should have the power to secure yourself and also your country.
Now tell me, among the human development indices that are there in the states. Now you would probably know the indices of the state, say in Savai Madhopur. How would you compare Savai Madhopur's, say, especially in female literacy, in gender balance, and in terms of maternal mortality, etc. How would you classify the district that you are most familiar with?
Sir, Savai Madhopur in sex ratio, it has a sex ratio more than national average. But when coming to the literacy rate, then female literacy rate is around 52% only. That is a really disappointing factor, but government is actually working towards it, and this literacy rate is continuously improving.
Just improving. But for example, when long ago, I recall even when Clinton visited Rajasthan, he saw a lot of people with computers and women, self-employed women, talking to him about using the computer, etc. Is that very much so in the rural areas now? You think that there is digital literacy has come in a big way?
Sir, as per my experience, I would not say that digital literacy has come that way in rural area. From my area at least, women are not digitally literate. They even don't know how to use smartphone.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Sulochana,
I can see under your NSS activities you are connected with the old age homes.
Yes.
Now, somehow I get a feeling, what do you think? Old age homes, does it give a good reflection on the Indian society, the way it is evolving? Is it a good phenomena?
Sir, in Indian society, old age homes, they are not considered good, and especially the children who are sending their elders to old age home, they are not seen with a good repo in the society. But my personal opinion says that old age homes are not that bad, which it is considered, it should not be considered as a taboo in the society. Because sometimes it is also possible that children cannot devote their time, and even elderly people, they can like the like-minded people there in old age homes. So it should be based on their voluntary choice to go there, and also it should not be made a taboo, and more awareness.
What has been your experience? You have seen, I have not seen the conditions and the way people live. One is not talking about those real high-end old age homes. One is talking about the normal average old age homes.
Sir, actually when I worked in NSS, we were, that project was just started, so we adopted that year only orphanage, as I don't have personal experience going to
you
old age
didn't
home.
see a old age home as such. No, that's fine. Now, you must have heard about all this GST collection reaching record heights, and we made very good collections. But there is one major issue which is a point of friction between the central government, the union government, and the state governments. What is that major issue? Do you have an idea?
Yes, sir. Sir, when GST it was passed in 2016 and made an act in 2017, then states were promised GST compensation, which will be
what was
provided
the logic for this compensation? Why were they being provided this compensation?
Sir, because many of the indirect taxes were being infused under GST. So states would be losing their revenues. So to compensate that, center will make a GST compensation fund.
Now what is the point of friction?
Sir, recently from last 2 to 3 years, they have not been receiving this compensation regularly.
Regularly, or not up to the benchmark which was fixed?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is your opinion? Should the compensation period be extended for the states?
Sir, looking at the recent COVID-19 pandemic and the imposed lockdown, certain economic activities were halted, and also the even currently the global market is very volatile. So looking at the situation, I would suggest that the compensation period should be extended.
At least for the period for which the COVID is there.
Yes, sir.
Now, despite there being GST, the central government is imposing a number of cesses. Should the cesses continue when we have a GST?
Sir,
and how is a cess different from GST?
Sir, GST is an indirect tax, and cess is imposed on that tax. It is tax on the tax.
What is the significant difference?
Sir, cess is for a particular purpose, and for that purpose only it should be spent.
I'll give you a clue. What is the significant difference vis-a-vis the state governments and the union government, the central government?
Sorry,
Can a cess be, a GST is shared between the central government and the state governments. Is the cess shared between the central and the state government?
No, sir. Cess
So
is
that
not
is one
shared.
fundamental difference.
Yes, sir.
Now, should such cesses be allowed to continue now? I mean, or with the coming of GST, it should be finished?
Sir, cesses, they, as I mentioned, that they are collected for a particular purpose, such as health cess is imposed 4%. So, for these purposes and for the for social sector, these are imposed. So, I think that these should be continued.
Is the government of India allocating the entire cess amount for the health sector, which is collected under the umbrella of health cess?
Sir, it is said that they are
Okay.
using that money for that purpose only.
Thank you.
Sulochana, you come from Savai Madhopur. What is it famous for?
Sir, it is famous for Ranthambore National Park and Ranthambore Fort.
And why is it named Savai Madhopur?
Sir, because it was established by Maharaja Savai Madho Singh first, who was from Kachwaha dynasty in 1763. So he named this city after his name, Savai
What does
Madho.
Savai mean?
So Savai means one and 1/4. It means you are not just one person, but you are additional to that. So it is a degree of honor for a person.
So where else Savai is used mostly? Sawa lakh, Sawa saw. Why is it in that manner? More than, a little bit more than what the normal is, right?
Yes.
Okay, Rajasthan has been having a lot of problems, but during the last 75 years, a lot of progress has taken place. As on today, what do you identify as the major problem areas which Rajasthan faces and needs to work on?
Sir, first problem I see is the economic problem. Although Rajasthan has got a lot of prosperity, but not up to the mark, such as its neighboring state Gujarat has achieved. So, and Rajasthan has potential also to reach that, because Rajasthan now has it has discovered oil refineries. So those refineries, first the infrastructure should be up to the mark, and then their exploitation, I would not say exploitation, but that's their use should be optimum. And in tourism sector also, it can progress very well. So its economic condition can increase, can improve a lot. So, second is there are some social issues, because many of the social menaces are prevailing still in the society, such as child marriage, parda system is there. So for such issues, awareness, sensitization drives should be conducted. And third is the about the female literacy. Female literacy, even the male literacy. So for this, government, although government has been doing a lot, but other sources of livelihood should be provided to the parents who are not sending their children to the school. And more awareness is needed about the government schemes, government programs, about the scholarships, fellowships. So these are the main issues I see.
Rajasthan has about 330 sunny days in a year.
Sorry, sir?
Rajasthan has nearly 330 plus sunny days in a year. The sun shines, the clouds are not there. Do you think Rajasthan is exploiting the solar energy part, and it has vast stretches where you have no agriculture, where you can have solar farms? Is it being exploited, is being used, or they need to do more in this?
Sir, they are doing it, but it is not at the optimum level. For some projects, they might need this status of national project, and infrastructural issues are there, investment issues are there. So by attracting private investment also, such plants can be established, and then their optimum use can be done.
Are the ex-Rajasthan Royals still relevant to the state? You have them as CMs, chief ministers and ministers and MLAs. So are they still relevant to the social structure of Rajasthan, or I think these are the last days of the ex-royals?
Sir, from my experience, in my generation, as I and my friends, we do not have much interaction, and we do not have much information about these Rajasthan royal families. So I think that their participation in the social activities and is in the social arena with the common people, it has decreased a lot. And now political figures, political representatives, they are honored more.
You got Inspire and Gargi scholarships. What is the difference between the two?
So, Inspire scholarship is provided by the Department of Science and Technology, which is part of central government, and Gargi scholarship is provided by the state government to all the girls who have scored more than 75% in 10th and 12th class. Inspire scholarship is it is allotted only to the students who have registered themselves in the Bachelors of Science programs, and they are at the top 1% of their boards.
So you have done so well in science and you have scored such high marks and you have got scholarships, top 1%. Why didn't you think of following a career in science and technology, which the Prime Minister says we need more scientists in India, than to maybe try for the civil services?
Sir, in college time when I did my botany honors, so I realized that my orientation is not towards the research and thesis side. Although I studied till 12th, even in college, this was a fantastic discipline, but I'm more likely to work into a field.
Okay, Miranda House, you studied in Miranda House, right? What are the three things which distinguish it from other Delhi colleges?
Sir, first thing is that in NIRF ranking, it always gets first position since the NIRF rankings are being introduced. Sir, second, it is a premier women's college, which is actually reputed for its science programs.
Science program, okay.
Sir, and third is, I would say its infrastructure, is its building and those historical things associated with it.
You've written you like to see movies on OTT platforms, but there is no censorship on OTT platforms, right? They have a lot of vulgarity, they have a lot of abusive language being used, and these are available even on your mobiles to the children. Do you think there should be some sort of censorship imposed on OTT platforms, or we should continue to allow them to do what they want?
Sir, recently government has asked OTT platforms to have their self-regulating authority, which can regulate such issues, because many cases, legal cases, are filed against these OTT platforms and series, and if they do not form their self-regulating authority, and still there will be issues, then censorship should be started on OTT platforms also.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Sulochana. In the historical context, who was Sulochana?
Sir, from the perspective of mythology, in Ramayana, Ravan's daughter-in-law and Meghnad's wife was Sulochana.
She was also called Sati Sulochana.
Yes.
What was the reason behind that?
Sir, because when Meghnad died, that time she committed sati. She also got burnt on the fire.
Okay, so she has been given a certain, certain status also, right? Sati, she's Sati. So do you think that we should name our children after ladies who have committed sati?
Sir, the reason my parents gave me this name was there was one popular actress by this name, Sulochana.
Achha.
And maybe they were not sure about this. But sir, second thing, that Sati Sulochana, she is not considered in a negative view in our society. She is given the status of goddess because of it shows that it shows her dedication towards her husband, that she also died with him. But in modern context, she will not be seen as an epitome for girls.
Do you think dedication towards one's wife is a precondition for marriage or sustenance of marriage?
Yes, sir. I believe that dedication towards your spouse is the base of the marriage.
But many of the Hollywood stars, including Will Smith, they're supposed to be staying in what they call open marriage. What is open marriage?
Sir, open marriage is when you are having wife or husband, but still you can date other person in the marriage.
So doesn't that contradict the very definition, very basis of marriage as you mentioned earlier?
Sir, marriage as an institution, it is also getting evolved with the time, and in Western societies, they are more liberal about these things. So maybe it is working for them, and it is there are some concepts of privacy, own space. So maybe they are pursuing it, but I do not think that in open marriage is a good idea for the purity and sanctity of this institution.
Okay, so what in modern context, in particularly Indian context, what do you think are the functions of marriage?
Sir, functions of marriage, first is the procreation, which had been a historical reason that procreation of the progenies is there. So second is there is economic functions. When a man and woman unites, their economic resources and their all capital also get united, and they work towards investing it and having more wealth.
In Hinduism, is marriage a social contract?
Sir, it is, I'm not sure, sir, it is social contract or not. It is one of the sanskar that is mandatory in Hinduism.
How many sanskars are there?
Sir, 16.
Okay. One last question. Do you think caste is a necessary evil in our society?
Sir, from the perspective of the Indian society, still the caste is a necessary evil, because caste system has been so deepened in the Indian society that till the present time, when such secular and Western liberal ideas have come into the society, but still caste system is prevailing. Even in marriage system, the percentage of the intercaste marriages is very low. So till the time it is a necessary evil, but the associated atrocities against certain communities should not be done. And
okay, thank you.
Sulochana, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
All right. Sulochana, we were speaking about purity and sanctity of marriage. You think it is important,
Yes.
right, from your discussion. Now, the government, in its response to Supreme Court and otherwise also had said that in order to protect the sanctity and the institution of marriage, marital rape should not be criminalized. What is your view on it?
Ma'am, my view is that rape, either it is with other person or with one's own wife, it is rape. Even this marriage, it cannot be considered a lifetime consent for anyone. So I think that marital rape should be criminalized, but it should not be used as a weapon to harass husbands. For that, there should be proper provisions about it.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned that you see family as at sometimes as a economic unit also. What are the other functionalities of family?
Ma'am, first thing that comes to my mind is that in the tension management and the mental support, family is the fundamental unit, because having a family, it reduces everyone's pressure, their tension.
Next.
Ma'am, second is the social significance, because in Indian society, family has been given much importance. That's why mostly it is seen that many people, if they want to put their house on rent, then they will give this to a family person, but not bachelors. So it has its social significance also.
Can you assess or analyze the impact of COVID on family system as such in India?
Ma'am, first thing which comes to my mind is that during COVID and imposed lockdown, all the family members, they were together. So due to this industrialization and modern times where family members could not spend much time, they got more time to spend together.
Anything else?
Sir, ma'am,
Give me 3 reasons, 3 analysis points.
ma'am, second is that elderly people, they got now more emotional support and the more emotional support from their kids. Ma'am, third is that it has been seen that the cases of domestic violence had increased and the rate of divorce had also increased in this COVID time.
Okay. Have you heard about silver economy?
Silver economy. Ma'am, I heard about it, but
This is with respect to senior citizens. So government has come out with a concept called, still there, but some certain initiatives around silver economy. Can you name them?
Ma'am, first is coming to my mind is that they are opening government old age homes.
But are you aware of the concept of silver economy?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Can you give me an estimate of proportion of senior citizen in Indian population?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. In terms of demographic trend, what has been the latest trend or the current trend? Is it?
Ma'am, India is one of the youngest country in terms of age, and its mean age is 29 years.
All right. And in terms of senior citizen, what has been the trend?
Ma'am, the number of senior citizens has been increasing.
All right. Is it more than the fertility rates?
Sorry, ma'am, I don't know.
All right, no problem. All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, if you wait for a while, we'll have a consultation and then we'll call you back for your
Sure.
certain counseling.
Please sit.
Thank you.
Now, please sit down. Your performance has been quite impressive. I think you're frank, you're direct, and you're without no beating around the bush and things like that. I think that was fairly impressive. You're fairly good in terms of your knowledge, and where you don't, you're able to straightforwardly admit it. I think that's basically on women's issues. You are naturally going to be asked a lot of questions, and you will have to, and certainly, of course, on your own background in terms of your district, you will have to, and of course, inevitably, your Miranda House thing will come into something. So these are the predicted questions. I think on the economic side, I think you will probably also face important questions because the state of the economy. International questions we have not asked about. You will probably get some, whether they be connected with the Ukraine war, with the United Nations, things like that. You will have to keep yourself first. When is your interview?
May 4th.
4th of May. You don't have that much time, but you still have a little time. I think
also you have said most of the things, but I'll just read out. You've done very well, and I thought I'll just read out what I was, penning down, watching your performance, which has been rather good. You have come out as a sincere and honest, and you have a frankness in answers. You don't hedge around too much. You just say what you feel like saying. At the same time, you say it with a very balanced manner. You give both sides of the picture, and that, like you gave a good answer on marriage, that as an institution which is evolving. However, that was the good part of it. I am of the personal opinion. That's the best way of handling these issues. You give a perspective, a sociological perspective, and then give your own opinion on the issue. And that was very well done. There is a lot of social empathy and sensitivity on social issues, which comes out while you are answering. Because you are frank, Your personality comes out in the answers, and you can see that social sensitivity coming, and that balance coming, and that poise and flow. One area where I thought, there are certain questions, factual, which you are not supposed to know. And if you say no, then no. But one question which is expected to be asked was asked by this honorable member, and that is with regard to solar energy. Now that, in the context of Rajasthan, you are supposed to have some good basic knowledge, how much is the installed capacity, the major projects, very major projects are coming up on solar energy in Rajasthan, and what is the future perspective being a desert area. So that is something, such though any question can be asked, but there is no harm in just brushing that up.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have done very well.
Thank you, sir.
You have a pleasant personality, confident, thinking, calm person, and good communication skills. You will get Rajasthan related questions, and as rightly said by Sir, women related questions. You have been using simple language and explained with simplicity. I think you continue to do that. You used one sentence, necessary evil. Evil need not be necessary. You can say that we'll have to live with it for some time. It's an evil process. Huh?
Question was necessary evil.
Necessary, okay. So, but maybe it can be, put in a different form, that we'll have to live with it. So, an evil need not be necessary in the long term. Marriage is not lifetime consent, something new, interesting. And similarly, but for senior citizens, because you've worked for senior citizens, the questions she asked, you have to be prepared with the percentages and all those things. That is important, because this is becoming a major issue now, silver economy and all these things, because it's not only about the youth, it's also about the growing elder population. So just do a little bit of reading on this. Otherwise, I think you will do very well in the interview. Wish you all the best.
Sulochana, you were very well prepared on your TAF and what you have done. Current affairs, it would be helpful to if you keep on updating yourself. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
I think all the points are covered. Just update yourself on current affairs and silver economy, because you've written it, old age and everything. So it's a thing that Honorable Prime Minister has also kind of highlighted. Second thing, would you be wearing this for the final interview, or sari, or
I bought a sari, but
go with it? Right?
I think this is looking comfortable on that.
It's a bit casual.
It's a bit casual. Yes.
Casual, okay.
Bit informal, if you don't.
But wear it and become comfortable with sari.
You're
You shouldn't be fidgeting
comfortable
with
with sari, aren't you?
Sir, I never wore a sari. Now I'll learn.
Aksha, then what's your
Maybe if you
advice?
practice for a day or two, that's okay. It's not a
You
big
should-
thing.
Or can
She
you go
shouldn't
in
be
this?
fidgeting with the
What's
sari.
your
you know,
advice?
that,
Because I
Sir,
think if you're
It's all
comfortable,
about power dressing also. So like we were discussing in the morning, that it projects well.
It,
So anyways,
it
they
gives a
have to wear
feeling
it.
of a matured, some formal.
You
But
would
I
also feel as if you are sitting.
no,
for a-
sari would be better, but in case you're not comfortable, because if it's slipping all the time and
it
you're
shouldn't
trying to.
make you constantly think about your pallo.
Pin it up.
That's not,
Pin it up well. It's doable. Rehearse for a couple of days. For other mock interviews, if you're giving them, try wearing it to your interviews. It'll give you a fair degree of comfort.
Do one mock with a sari on. No, seriously.
And if you're not comfortable, then do what you want.
Then we'll know. All right. Thank you so
all
much.
the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.